Now this just looks like a normal hut, and I don't want.
สวัสดีครับทุกคน วันนี้จะมาดู Minecraft Minecraft เวอร์ชัน Snapshot ใหม่
Want it to look like a normal hut. Okay, what I want to do is to. Okay, this does not look too bad. It looks kind of shiny. Let's see.
ก็เก่าลืมว่า
Let's see what I can try. Wait, I have an idea. 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 Why is it not update again in Minecraft? I don't know. Wait,
3 วัน
had a snapshot
ที่แล้ว
since.
มันมี
Yeah, I know. I just
Minecraft เวอร์ชันใหม่
saw this.
คือ
I have an idea. And guys, when I have an idea, then that means that it's peak. Okay.
Snapshot 3 25แต่เป็น U 3
This
4
idea
A
is
กับ
ass.
25
My internet stopped working for us, I guess. Did you miss anything? Nope. I just got back to my base and I'm starting to build. Wait, I still have a bunch of other block choices, so it's not like these are the only copper blocks that I have.
เรา
Boom, lanterns. Boom,
เรา
chains.
จะเจอวิกิว้าวิกิ Minecraft 1.2 1.9 Minecraft วิกิเช่นอีหลายอันแล้วมันมี เราไป
Snapshot 25W34A is here with a big round of fixes for the Copper Golem, code of conducts on servers, and more. Quickly followed by 25W34B, fixing a realm's connectivity issue. My name is Sliced Lime, and this is a showcase of all the changes. Let's start with some updates for the Copper Golem and Copper chests. Copper Golems now properly update double-trapped chests when interacting with them, and updating a copper chest opened by a Copper Golem no longer gets that chest stuck in the open state.
แล้วทุกคนเห็นว่าอันนี้ไม่มี texture ตรงบาร์สกรีนอันนี้มันไม่มีแก๊สแล้วมีแต่คอปเปอร์โกเลมเพราะว่าอันนี้คืออัปเดตของคอปเปอร์โกเลมCreate World มีความคิดเห็นอะไรที่จะมาทำไหมงั้นไม่มีความคิดเห็นก็จำจะเห็นเองบ๊ายบายดูสปอนเอ็กเช็คกิ้งสปอนเอ็กสนใจภาษาคอปเปอร์โกลเด้นเอ็ก สุดมีคอปเปอร์ทอชงั้นน่าจะทำบ้านตรงในที่เอ็ดนิวที่TNT อีกซุปเปอร์แฟตดันเกมเซตติ้งพีซฟูลที่เอ็ดเย่งั้นวุฒิที่คนรู้ที่สุดก็คือโอ๊คใช่ไหมก็มีความคิดเห็นเยอะมากเลย30 แล้วก็ตัดออกงั้นถ้ากลัวว่าเคเบิลสปอนก็ลืมไปตึ๊ดตึ๊ดตึ๊ดตึ๊ดตึ๊ดเด็ดสร้างบ้านลืม
Interacting with a copper golem that is not holding an item no longer plays the hand animation. An invisible copper golem is now fully invisible, including its eyes. The hitbox of copper golems have been adjusted so they now fit through open doors. It is now 0.6 blocks wide and 1.01 blocks tall to avoid it getting stuck in certain blocks. The block hitbox of a copper golem statue is now also in the right place. The star and running poses of copper golem statues are now centered within the block. Copper golem statues in item form now have the right size, and the icons are no longer cut off at the top in the inventory. The copper golem spawn egg is now sorted correctly in the creative inventory. A number of problems with how copper golems interact with commands have been fixed, so they now obey the no AI and silent tags, and making them wear a banner using commands now makes them wear those banners the right way around. Wearing a copper golem statue in the head slot no longer shows it upside down. Updates to the new end flashes. The flashing of the light from them is now controlled by the same accessibility option as the lightning flashes, which is now called hide sky flashes. The texture itself is still visible regardless of the setting, much like the lightning strikes are. The sound effect of the end flashes is now also more delayed, and you can no longer hear end flashes going off while watching the credits after leaving the end. Using the game mode switcher or opening the debug options while viewing the credits no longer causes the player to be stuck in a soft lock until relogging. Frosted ice no longer melts in the end, and bees in the end no longer hide in their hive when it starts raining in the overworld. This version has some other gameplay bug fixes as well. When you create a super flat world with the water world preset, you no longer spawn at the bottom of the sea. And re-entering a world where you were flying in creative mode no longer makes you fall out of the sky, something that started happening in the previous snapshot. Harvesting sweet berries had started yielding more berries as a result in a recent snapshot, which is fixed in this one. The hitboxes of item frames now grow to the correct size when they contain a map. Enchanted books now have the right rarity color. Guardians can now once again enter boats, and the Ender Dragon spawn egg no longer has the disabled in peaceful note. The sprint and sneak toggle states now resume after opening any screen and then closing it again. Projectiles that get redirected by a player-triggered explosion now also count as damage done by that player. And projectiles no longer sometimes lose their ownership when the player that shot them disconnects from a multiplayer server. Speaking of multiplayer, servers can now have a code of conduct. For servers that do, this code of conduct is shown during the loading screen as you join the server, and accepting the code of conduct is required to be able to play on the server. There's a checkbox to not show that code of conduct again, which will remain in effect unless the code of conduct for the server changes. Servers can also have multiple localized versions of the code of conduct for different languages. A number of user interface changes have been made in this version. Text inside the Realms information box no longer disappears when selected. The main menu now has a new background panorama for the upcoming drop, showing copper golems in a village. Interacting with a fletching table in spectator mode no longer flashes the crafting table user interface. The world information text on the world selection screen no longer sometimes overflows the list boundaries. The statistics screen has been given a makeover and now uses the same type of tabs as the Create World screen instead of buttons. The tab selection order on the command block screen is now the right one. Hovering over banner patterns in the Loom UI now displays tooltips. The color of the cursor in the book signing screen is now the right one, and the color of text in the test instance screen has been fixed. And some visual news. A whole lot of fixes have been made for glowing things. Glowing outlines now work again for block and item displays. Glowing sheep no longer have part of their outline be black, and glowing invisible entities now have the right team colors once again. Water and lava no longer drips from barrier blocks. Some sound fixes. Ambient sounds and jukeboxes no longer keep playing when you leave the dimension they were playing in, something that started happening in a recent snapshot.
Nope.
Copper golems and copper chest sounds can now be heard from up to 12 blocks away, and the copper sorting sounds have been tweaked to be quieter. Double copper chests now make sounds when copper golems interact with the right-hand part of them. And shearing a copper golem now plays a sound. And this version brings us stability fixes, including a fix for a crash when using the debug options while disconnecting, and a fix for entities with invalid motion data causing clients to get kicked or soft-locked. This snapshot also brings us data pack version 84.0 and resource pack version 66.0, with changes to profile components and more. If you're also interested in that, keep your eyes on the channel for a separate video. But that's all for this one. Thank you for watching. Please accept the code of conduct for watching this video by pressing the like button below. My name is Sliced Lime, and I'll see you next time.
Nope. Ha.
snapshots 25W34A and B brought us data pack version 84.0 and a resource pack version 66.0 with changes to profile components for player heads and more. My name is Sliced Lime and this is a guide to all the changes. Let's start with the changes to player heads. The contents of profile components no longer change when a player's skin is resolved. That is, the item would change whenever a download of the skin completed, which could cause issues. This is now changed, so while skins can still resolve, the component no longer changes. And so a player head with a player name as its profile will now keep resolving to that player's latest skin whenever it is loaded. This type of dynamic profile is made by having either a name field with a player name or an ID field with a UUID, but not both. A name can also be specified on the top level.